Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day week. It is the final whistle where we give you everything you need for this Iron Bowl week. And yes, we got the All-Star panel. We're breaking it down. I got my rowdy group of fellas with me, and I'll start with that guy, Chris James. How you doing, sir? You in HD today.
Man, what's up, man? I'm on my phone now because both of my laptops are acting crazy, man. So I'm trying to work on that while we do this. So, I can't miss it. So I had to get on the phone.
You can't
What's
be
up,
down.
TJ?
You
Can't
on
hear you,
mute?
man. You're on mute.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. B-Sci-Fi. That's a legend, y'all. This is a legend.
Legend. And ladies and gentlemen, we got legendary guest Terry Jones Jr., who his dad used to have me doing stupid stuff all the time. So shouts out to the GOAT, Terry Jones Sr., but we got his son, TJ Jr., Baltimore Ravens legend, tight end legend. I still haven't seen a tight end run the tight end screen like this. It was guaranteed either first down or touchdown with this dude. But ladies and gentlemen, Bama legend Terry Jones Jr., how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm good, man. I appreciate y'all having me on the show. I appreciate getting a chance to talk about the other school down the street. And like I said, get a chance to talk to my brothers, man, talk about Alabama football. I'm happy. I'm happy.
That's awesome, man. We're glad to have you on. And ladies and gentlemen, our top analyst, Mr. Lou Sean. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just excited for another week to hate the color orange, and especially this week, that nasty, disgusting Cal College, it's just too close to us. But, I'm excited to get into it. I'm excited. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. And ladies and gentlemen, back from his OnlyFans excursion, final whistle, Dan, how are you doing, brother?
Always good, man. It's Turkey week. It's Iron Bowl week. It's a good week.
I heard that. I love to hear that. And ladies and gentlemen, Blazes Hayes' cousin is back. Ty Hayes, how are you doing? Around the Table Sports, he does it all. Ty Hayes, how are you doing, my brother?
Man, happy to be here. Blaze may make an appearance. Who knows? On a week like this, you need the extra energy. We'll see. But it's Auburn hate week, and for me, it's Auburn hate week every week. But this week, it's actually valuable for me to dislike Auburn. So I'm happy to be here.
I love to hear that. And speaking about value, and you get great value with our sponsor, Workspace Solutions. Workspace Pros, they know how to do it here on the Bama Standards. And speaking of dislike, the college football rankings came out real quick, guys. And listen, Alabama's still number 8. I believe Washington moved to number 4, and Florida State dropped to number 5. Ty, I want to get with you. Kind of kick this thing off. What are your thoughts? I know you had some takes before we got on the show. Let me know your thoughts about what are you predicting and what do you think is going to happen in the foreseeable future? And then we're going to go to our guest, T. Jones, after that.
Yeah, listen, I have hooted and hollered about this damn committee every single week because it does not make sense. Now, finally, this week, they took another step in the right direction. They took a small step in the right direction the week before. What am I talking about? 2 weeks ago, they finally put Georgia at number 1. It was ridiculous that Georgia wasn't at number 1. Then their committee was arguing with their own rankings. What I mean when I say that is they initially had Florida State over Washington. That makes no sense whenever they're trying to argue that Oregon is the best one-loss team in the nation. You cannot, in good faith, argue that Washington's win over Oregon is better than Florida State's win over who? LSU? Well, Alabama beat LSU as well, and yet they're getting punished. Finally, we see Florida State move to 5, Washington to 4. But gentlemen, it makes no sense for Oregon to be ahead of either Alabama or Texas, quite frankly. When we look at this holistically, Alabama and Texas have 3 ranked wins over teams that the College Football Playoff Committee has deemed worthy to be ranked. If we look at Oregon, I don't know if they have 1 win. That depends on where Utah's at. Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but I do remember this, gentlemen. They have played 2 teams all year with a winning record. And somehow the committee is more moved by them beating up on Bishop Sycamore than Alabama beating teams that the committee deems worthy by double digits each, mind you. I have no idea what's going on. Before I pass this around, I said it last time and I'm going to say it again. I'm interested in hearing what chat thinks. Hop down into the comments, let us know. I am of the belief that Alabama is being penalized more for beating USF close than they are for losing to Texas. That's what I think is ultimately a major contributing factor to this. I think the committee's looking for any argument they can to keep Alabama on the outside looking in. And I think that the USF close win is hurting them. Now, ultimately, if they beat Auburn, they beat Georgia, it's next to impossible for them not to get in. I think it will take care of itself, but absolutely infuriating.
TJ?
I agree with him. Because like I said, I think it's all going to work out itself. Washington and Oregon going to end up playing itself. They're going to knock a team out. Michigan, Ohio State going to play. They're going to beat one of them. Going to beat each other. They're going to knock themselves out. Alabama, Georgia, we're going to come and take care of business in Atlanta, and then they're going to put us in. The only team that kind of scares me a little bit, think about Louisville. They come out here and beat a Florida State team. They're another one-loss team. They can make an argument a little bit, but that's another team that can come in and kind of make some noise. But I think if we get in, Texas is going to get in. I don't think they're going to be able to jump us over Texas. But I think the two of us are paired together for this offseason, for this bowl game. We get a chance to get in. Texas might be 3, and we'll be 4. One of those they'll probably Texas and Georgia play each other. We'll play Ohio State or however that works out with us. We play Georgia at 1 and 4. That's how I think it's gonna play out. But like I said, it's so much football left to be played. Even this weekend gonna help open the door for Alabama to get in. But it's just gonna take some time for it all gonna be work. It all gotta work out itself. It's football. It all gonna get settled on the football field, especially in this last playoff. They don't want to end the last 14 playoff with putting 2 SEC teams in. So whatever they can do to try to not to get both of us in, not to get Alabama in for the most part, they'll do it. But we're going to take care of business in Atlanta in a couple of weeks, and then that's going to open the door for us to get in, and nobody can't deny that. Like, you see us on the field, we one of the 4 best teams that plays football in college football right now. There's nobody else that's doing anything close to what we're doing right now. So I'm excited to see the next couple of weeks. My birthday on the 3rd, so I plan to be celebrating after the SEC win and getting it in that way. So
mine's on the 2nd, man. Small world.
I'm on the 1st.
Whoa, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Trifecta in the house. So yeah, Ty, I'm gonna ask you before I send it to Chris. Who does Texas play in the Big 12 championship?
The Big 12 doesn't even know. Guys, if I will take no more than 30 seconds. As y'all know, I cover college football as a whole. The Big 12, 2 weeks before the conference championship, is trying to pass new legislation to try and figure out the tiebreakers. That is as amateur as it gets for a sport where they're generating hundreds of millions of dollars a year, and somehow they're waiting for 2 weeks before. There are multiple different tiebreaker scenarios right now. It could be Oklahoma. It could be Oklahoma State. It could be Kansas. They don't even know right now. So that's completely up in the air.
Okay, cool. Yeah, a little backup. I don't know. But let's go to Chris. Can you hear me? I guess not. Let's go to Lushan. Lushan, let me get your thoughts about the playoff rankings.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, your screen's lagging. Guys, that's why we'll get Chris off that Boost mobile phone.
That's why you got to subscribe to his OnlyFans, guys. He can't be providing y'all content. Like right now, y'all are seeing it in 360p. There you go. Now it's 1440.
I tried to get back on the computer, man. I need to get my laptop fixed, man.
You can't be downloading all them X-rated shows.
Come on, Chris.
Back out the X's. Like when the spams pop up, you got to click out of those, man.
Man, when you have kids, man, things happen, man, with your computers and stuff and laptops.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Blame it on the kids. Blame it on the kids. Go, Chris.
But yeah, man. But with the play, I'm not concerned, man. It's too much football left. 2 more weeks. Lots of like Oregon still has to play Oregon State, which I think Oregon State has a chance of getting them. Washington plays in the Apple Cup, even though Washington State isn't that great this year, but that's a weird game, man. Kind of like Alabama Auburn. No matter the record, you kind of throw those records out the window. So Florida State still has to play Florida this weekend, even though Graham Mercer's hurt. They still have to go to the Swamp, and they have Louisville. Texas, I don't know about the Big 12. That's just a weird conference. I don't know. Maybe Oklahoma State, maybe Oklahoma again. I have no clue how that works out. Maybe Kansas State. So but we beat Georgia, man. Beat Auburn, beat Georgia. It's like there's no way they can keep Bama out of the playoffs. Like, good luck explaining that. Even though Texas, the thing about Texas is, yes, Texas has the head-to-head over us. However, they lost to a 2-loss team, Oklahoma. That has to account for something. You can't get 2 free passes. Okay, it's understood that they beat us. You had the heads up then, but when you lost to Oklahoma, who also has a bad loss, 2 losses, that kind of, it's like, okay, you have to throw that into consideration. So I'm not worried about it. You know what I'm saying? I think that we'll be fine. And too much football left to be played. First, we got to beat those Bulldogs. We got to beat Auburn, and we got to beat Georgia. So we do that, the rest will take care of itself for us.
Lushawn, sorry.
At this point, I'm just sitting back here, and I'm gonna pour myself a large drink and just sit back and enjoy the show. Because at this point, exactly, I need to get with my mans up there and get me some of that Shady Miles. But honestly, the committee hasn't made sense thus far, and I don't think they're going to make sense until they have to make sense. So as far as I'm concerned, I expect chaos in these next couple weeks. I expect upsets. I expect teams to beat teams that people didn't even think they could beat teams. And I think that it's going to shake it up enough that the committee's not going to have a choice, because beating the number 1 team in the country, which we will do next weekend after we take care of business at the Cal College, but after we beat the number 1 team in the country, also back-to-back national champions, carries a little bit bigger of a weight in everybody's mind. It kind of has to be the trump card over a Washington or an Oregon or a Florida State or whoever. If Louisville comes and has a Lamar Jackson miracle or something like that, but there's no way that they can keep the SEC championship out of the playoffs. There would just be, I don't even know what would happen at this point. But I can guarantee you this: I do trust them to eventually get it right. They might not get it right next week, but eventually they're going to do the right thing, and that's put Alabama in the playoffs.
I like it. Dan?
Man, we're a few weeks away from the final college football playoff poll, and man, these last few weeks, man, Alabama has gotten literally zero help. That's what's been so frustrating. We've had the Texas loss hanging over us for 7-8 weeks now. It's just ridiculous. But there should be no way in the world that we don't go in and handle Georgia, do what we're supposed to do, and not be in the college football playoff. So I say right now we are controlling our own destiny, but we have to win these next two games, and the rest will take care of itself. It should.
I agree. Speaking of taking care of itself and Alabama and their destiny, we got a big Iron Bowl game with our in-state rivalry come Saturday down on the Plains, and we know Jordan Hare gets tricky. They just lost to New Mexico State. Hugh Freeze. I don't know what happened to his game plan, whatever, but the Iron Bowl, you got to throw out the record books. We know Auburn going to be ready to play. So with that being said, and I'll leave it to Lushawn to start it off, with Alabama going down to the Plains and, Auburn losing that game to New Mexico State last week, is there any concern for Alabama not to be dialed in or coming in, overhyped, overconfident? What are your thoughts regarding the Tide's mindset and mentality going into this big rivalry game on Saturday, Lushan?
I attribute this to the leadership that's going on the defense specifically, and Malachi Moore leading this team, and the fact that he was already watching film on this team before the 24-hour rule took place. I think that says wonders, and I think he sets the tone on the defensive side, which in turn sets the tone for the rest of the team. I think that they're dialed in. I think that Saban has communicated the message that they need to stay on the high pace. They need to stay at playing ball at a high level. They don't need to let up. They need to keep the foot on the gas for the rest of the season. And I think our boys are going to be ready. And I think they might actually shock most of the country with what goes on Saturday.
I love it. TJ, what are your thoughts? You think Bama's you got any concerns of Alabama not being locked in, loaded versus Auburn?
I don't, just because with the Texas loss, it got a chance for us to focus early. Like, it got a chance for offense, defense to get that one bad game out of the way. And with the way, when we got a chance to figure it out, it got Tommy Reese the opportunity. When it being a first-year offensive coordinator, because I called plays too in high school, you coming in, learning somebody else's new system, it takes a couple games to be able to go down your call sheet and be able to find the plays that you want to call.
Yeah.
Remember, Reese got it now. He got that feel of it now. And defensively, same thing with Kevin Steele. Like, he had to figure out the defense. He'd been there a long time ago, but now getting a chance to get his feel of the defense, how he want to call first down, third down calls, it makes sense now why the defense starting to get that much better. And I don't see it. It's just like the North Alabama game when they played Florida State. First quarter, they gonna give us everything they got. Exotic formations, trick plays, all that kind of stuff. But we stay home and do what we got to do and take those first couple of punches that they're going to give us. It's going to be a wrap, like point blank period. But I don't think our kids like looking past this game, looking toward Georgia, because they know they already got our backs. Our backs are already to the wall.
Yeah.
So they know they got to work. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Dan?
Definitely, man. I think this team is very locked in, and I think we got the early season jitters away. I think we become more physical and much more engaged the last few weeks. But we'll get into it later about a couple of additions and changes that we made throughout the year. But this team, I like the way we're trending on both sides of the ball. So without a doubt, they know what's in front of them, So I expect them to go and Jordan Hare and take care of business.
I love it. Let's go, Todd and Chris.
Yeah, Lushan hit the nail on the head to start this off, talking about Malachi Moore's comments, and then Terry, you followed it up with something that I think people really need to understand. Because not only did you hit the nail on the head when you said Alabama has been locked in for a while, Malachi Moore also said it, I think, in the Ole Miss week, where he said the team came to a realization after that USF game, after the Texas game, every single game was a college football playoff game. In the team's eyes, they felt like they were kind of already in the playoffs because it's a single game elimination. You must win every game. And they've done that. Then you hear Malachi Moore talking about, I don't care that they lost to New Mexico State. I'm here grinding the film. That to me says everything. They realize that you can lose to a team that you're supposed to beat if you're not focused. Auburn wasn't focused. Auburn was probably looking ahead to Alabama thinking, how can they spoil our season? But these guys on this team, it's a different mindset this year. They're locked in. They're ready to go. the coordinators, the team, it's just clicking at a different level right now. And that's why I think a lot of college football, gentlemen, are looking at not only Auburn, but really looking at Georgia. And when I say a lot of college football, I'm talking about your playoff hopefuls. I think they're looking at Georgia hoping that the Dogs take care of business, because I don't think they want any part of Alabama if Alabama wins out and makes it to the college football playoffs with the way they're playing right now.
I think that's true. You can tell by the way they ranked Alabama. The committee knows
exactly
who they don't want in the playoff just by how they're ranking everybody else ahead of them. So to me, it's obvious. But Chris, let me get your thoughts.
Yeah, like these guys are locked in, man. It's single game elimination. So it's kind of like when you're in high school, you had the playoffs. We're pretty much in the playoffs, and that's why you didn't see a letdown against Chattanooga. You know, that's kind of like your prototypical 1 versus 4 seed in the high school state playoffs. And now, you know, you're playing a 2 seed who happens to be a regional rival or something like that. So, so basically, man, these guys, man, it's the Iron Bowl. Like if our guys have to get up for the Iron Bowl, like somebody has to get them up for the Iron Bowl, you might as well not even show up next week against Georgia. I mean, just being real, these guys aren't locked in for this game right here, which I know they are. So it shouldn't be no outside motivation, no bulletin board material. Should nothing like be in the way of these guys dialing in and being focused, man. And I fully like expect them to kind of like when someone says beat a gnat with a sledgehammer. I believe that they're in that type of mode. No matter who lines up in front of them, they're going to try to embarrass them. And so I mean, it's the Iron Bowl. TJ, y'all know it's the Iron Bowl, man. It don't matter what the records are. It's the Iron Bowl.
Yeah. Speaking of, LaShawn, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, and to just kind of just put the icing on the cake, the fact that we haven't seen certain players show up in their star mentality like we should have seen already should scare people. We only got 2 more games left in the season, and we have yet to see some of the, I'm not going to highlight names, but there's certain people in our secondary that have yet to take over a game yet. And that in itself tells me that they are extra, just I'm talking just breathing Auburn right now. That's how locked in I feel these players are, because they know if they take care of business in the way that Nick Saban has planned for them, then I think the process is going to take care of itself.
I love it. Speaking of, Chris, you gonna say something, or you cleaning your eyebrows? Oh, my bad. Speaking of the Iron Bowl and memories, TJ, take us down memory lane about some of your Iron Bowl memories, specifically reliving the 2001 Iron Bowl.
Man, it was. I think that was the first time that we played Auburn in Auburn for the Iron Bowl. It had been a while. I know we were playing in Legion Field, but it just. I made a comment a while back when I was doing my football camp. When you get a chance to go to a stadium, and you can hear the ice in the ice machine because it's so quiet. That's what we did. Like, we came in that Iron Bowl, like, they didn't expect us to win. You know what I'm saying? So, but we came in and put on the show, and then, like you said, I can't remember the exact score, but I know it was lopsided. And like you said, it's one of the things that you remember forever. Like I said, getting the chance, I got a chance to score a touchdown when I was there, getting a chance to walk off that field and hearing 80, 90,000 people like just pissed. Because my wife, she went to the game at the time, and they end up either moving her car or something because she had the Alabama flag and ripping the flag off of her car. It was crazy. But it just, like you said, it's the Iron Bowl. Like, it gets no better than that. Like, it's the greatest rivalry in all of sports. I know people always, it's kind of been lopsided and one-sided for a while, but it's the Iron Bowl. Like, you get two teams, we have no professional sports, and it's just Alabama and their other school. Like, it's big time. So I appreciate it. I love it.
Well, at least you got to beat him. I never got to beat him. I lost, 6 years? You know, Tuberville, who's now a senator, was holding up 7 versus us, and It was pretty bad. So, but anyways, I want to shout out Marquise Mays. I don't know if y'all been following. Shouts out to Marquise Mays. He's been going at it with Auburn fans. So it just shows you how intense the rivalry. And I want to say RIP Harvey Updike.
Y'all crazy. Hey, but yeah, I was a redshirt freshman that year when we went down to the Auburn. But the best part about it, we kept them out of the SEC championship game. We went down there, and I think didn't we have 200-yard rushes that game? Didn't San Antonio and Ahmad both rushed for 100 yards?
Yep.
And Dan was there. Dan could tell you how the crowd was.
Oh man, they literally tormented us as we were walking in. I mean, the Auburn fans, they were. I mean, they were horrible. You know, going into the stadium, they was talking about the season we were having. You know, and I remember my dad saying that we were walking in, he said, "Hey, we win today, that'll make our season." And as we were going out, man, like you say, you could hear the ice in the ice machine. It was just that quiet. It was the sweetest walking out of the stadium, a visiting stadium, man. That was, I mean, man, it was sweet, man. It's like we own the city walking out of there that night.
That bus ride up 65, boy, that was lovely one to tell you.
I want to know what happened after the game in T-Town.
Man, it was the thing about it. It was a night game. It happened. It was a 3:30 game.
That was an afternoon game.
It was an afternoon game, but by the time we got back, it was so late, and we just
went to the Highlands. We just went to the Highlands, had a good time.
Yeah, because I think the very next week we had to make up that cold Southern Miss game in the rain.
Yep.
From the September 11th game, and we had to play Southern Miss. It was a makeup game. We were supposed to have that off week because it used to be a time where it was a bye week after the Auburn game, the last regular season game in the SEC championship, and we had that bye week to kind of go home or whatever. But we ended up having to play Southern Miss in like 20-degree weather. It may have been colder than that, TJ, wasn't it? Man, it was freezing.
It was wet.
That was the most miserable I ever been at a football game. Besides that 2000 Iron Bowl.
Yeah, the 2000 Iron Bowl was bad because I was hurt, and me and Mohead was sitting on the sideline on crutches. I ain't gonna lie, I left about halftime because I couldn't deal with it. Like I was cold, I couldn't do anything, so I ended up leaving.
I was standing on the bleach on the bench on the sideline with one of those big, the big jackets we used to have, those big jackets they used to give us. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there on the bleacher, standing up on the bleacher. I mean, because we lost that game. What was it? 10?
9-6, 9-10, something like that.
It was horrible, man. Like it was just, the weather was just, oh my God, man. That was the absolute worst.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. I know you gotta move on. But leaving that game, we walking off and we celebrating. So I'm walking beside one of the student managers or something. And next thing I know, I see something flying out of the stands. It's a Maker's Mark bottle, an empty one. They hit somebody in the head. Whoa. And after that, they hit one of the managers. They said, "Hey, y'all put y'all damn helmets on and just get into the locker room." So we putting our helmets on, running inside. They didn't even turn on the hot water for us. We had to take cold showers.
They surely did.
We had to take cold showers after that game and ride back to Tuscaloosa after that. So, funny story.
Dang, that was gonna be the name of my OnlyFans this week. But yeah. I'll never forget, man. Y'all had it rocking and rolling in T-Town. I went to the 02 Iron Bowl in T-Town. I don't know if y'all won a lot, but I remember going to the Kind Club afterwards. Man, I was like, man, ain't nothing like Bama. Tuscaloosa is on another level, bro. Like, it was just jumping. So, anybody else want to comment? Ty, Lushawn, want to comment about, just your thoughts about the rivalry, this game, and I don't know, just anything, any of your memories?
Man, I was in the first grade when that 2001 game happened. So that was
wow.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, man.
First grade.
Yeah, I was in the first grade. That was a long time ago for me. But it's funny, guys. I do the morning show every day on my channel, and I had someone come in there today and try and argue with me. They were like, well, why would Bama beating up on Auburn this year be big? Auburn's broken. This isn't a rivalry. And I talk all the time, right? You can ask the panel. Unfortunately, they know. You can ask my wife. God knows she knows. And for one of the first times in my life, I didn't know what to say. I was almost just like, one of the biggest rivalries in sports isn't a rivalry. What are we doing here? So I'm really excited for this game. It's one of those things where Jordan Hare has got voodoo attached to it. Y'all, if you want, you can catch me there about 2 hours before the game. I'll be burning some sage, walking around the field.
Please do.
And hopefully it helps, because God knows. Well, I'll contact and console with the New Mexico State team to see what witchcraft practices they use to be able to negate those. And I'll take care of it. Don't worry about that.
Appreciate it.
That, or I'll send Blaze after him.
Loose shot.
It ain't no more Gus. Gus was with that voodoo mess, man. He's gone now.
Was.
I don't like Auburn. I'm just gonna be 100. I just don't like them. I don't like the color of them. I don't like their two mascots. I just don't. It just flat out. I don't like their field. It's ugly. I don't like their stadium. It's just, I just can't wait till we just absolutely destroy them on Saturday. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Listen, I'll give you my last memory. I was there. I vowed to never go to an Iron Bowl after we lost that game to Kick Six. I was down there tailgating, and have to experience that, not knowing, shock and awe, not knowing what's going on, and then to get stuck in Auburn. I said I would never go to an Iron Bowl and Jordan Hare the rest of my life. That, to me, that was a sign from God telling me not to ever go down the plains.
Man, I went with your frat brother Walt. Me and Walt.
Oh, for real? You went down there with Walt?
Yeah, we went back in 2009, the Julio game with that last drive when Macro and Julio caught all those passes on the last drive, and we finished it with was it Upchurch touchdown?
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I ended up catching the flu. Like, I was sick. Like, it's just something about that place, man. Like, I ended up getting dog sick after the game. I was dog sick. And I was fine that morning after the game, dude. Like, that night, I was dog sick. And we ended up staying with Jeff down there with Jeff. And I couldn't move, man. I remember being on the couch, and I was like, what is going on, man? It's like something from that stadium, man, just got me straight sick, man.
That's hilarious. LuShawn, I know you want to talk about Devonta Smith and his rise. We're gonna let you kind of lead it off regarding this topic.
Man, I know not just me, but a lot of us have been waiting for him to get healthy, because we thought he'd bring a little bit of a difference, a little bit of a nuance, a little bit of a old school mentality that was missing from our already ultra talented secondary. I mean, we got corners that can guard you 3 ways till Sunday. We got safeties that'll come up and pop you. We got stars that'll come pick you off in the slot. It doesn't matter. But Devonta Mac Truck Smith, I'm going to tell you something about this dude. He plays with an aggressiveness in his position that we haven't seen in a long time. And I think him bringing that aspect, and he doesn't even have to be out there starting, but every time he was out there on Saturday, he brought that defense up to his level. And our defense is already playing at a superior level. He's worked hard. He's been in the system a long time, so he knows it. This is like having a straight up field general back there, an actual field general on the field to actually let, Caleb Downs do what he does best. It allows our defense and our secondary to play a little bit more at ease, because he's back there directing traffic, making sure everybody's in the right spot. And with that communication level with him back there, it's going to even translate even better when Deontay Lawson gets back. Because I'm going to tell you what, when we get those two on the field together, the way our defensive line and outside linebackers are playing,
Hey, and thank y'all, and what people fail to realize, our defensive line hasn't taken many snaps. Jaheim Otis, those guys aren't getting 40, 50 snaps a game. They're playing Ty 25, 27 snaps a game. Those boys are fresh, man, ready to eat.
Yeah, Tim Keenan has been huge. His emergence for this defensive front. And one of the things we talked about earlier, Jaheim Otis moving from interior defensive line to defensive end allowed for so much flexibility along this defensive front. It's been a really fun year in terms of seeing this defense emerge and rise to the occasion.
I agree. And I think another thing, the impact of Devonta Smith has had is he has made Christian Story up his game even that much more. And I think that just helps our defense on the back end where we can be a little, not to say Jaden Key, we weren't as versatile, but I think we're even more versatile, having more depth with what we can kind of confuse some packages. Maybe when we play, Peyton Thorne or, looking at Carson Beck with these two guys in the back. So I'm excited to see Devonta Smith come back. He's a headhunter. And listen, I think this is going to help our defense.
But experience too. The kid been there for a couple of years in the Bama program. The key kid came from UAB, so he's still learning the program. He can play.
Yeah.
He's a baller coming from UAB, but it's just when you get that experience and being able to make that line of communication and make those snap judgment decisions about what coverage to make when you get the movement from the receivers, like that stuff makes a difference. And so Devonta being back there is helping Caleb Downs have to make sure that he's playing that much faster and playing that much smarter. And you never know. Devonta probably been coaching up Caleb behind the scenes during the spring, during the fall. And that's why Caleb been able to play so fast. And now you put both of them on the field together. Like it just is making our defense so much better in the back end, which is making our front seven so much better because those guys being able to play such great of a coverage on the back end.
And another thing is just think how key it was for us to get Key, no pun intended, because Devonta Smith missed a huge most of the season.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have had Key and Christian. We'd have had, so somebody would have had maybe Tony Mitchell. We'd have been forced to play a younger guy that we weren't, really didn't want to play this early. So having Key come over was huge, man. That's a huge addition. And whenever we get him back, it should be we should be so fresh against Georgia. It's because I really wouldn't even worry about. I would let him and Lawson completely heal and just unleash him next week. I give him another week to heal up because we can handle them with with what we have and place. Those are just additions, man. That's what you call depth.
I agree. Speaking of depth and talking about having those additions, let's get to the Iron Bowl. Let's get to the game. Let's get to some of our Iron Bowl preview, predictions, and players of the games. So, Lushan, let me get your Iron Bowl preview, your predictions, and player of the game on Saturday down there in Jordan Hare.
I predict joyless murder ball, savage carnage. I predict a 58-0 Bama.
Dang.
Defensive player of the game, Kendrick Blackshire. Offensive player of the game, Jam Miller. And that's what I got.
I love it. TJ, let me get you.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Final Whistle General Manager here. Did anybody else pick up vibes from Lushan of Clubber Lang pre-Rocky match? When they asked him for his prediction, and he just looked at the camera. My prediction? Pain. I thought Lushan was going to break out. I pity the fool. You do that, Lushan, for the audience? As you were. And also, too, Matt, you are actually providing bad juju, being asked that you never beat Auburn. So I'm going to have to ask you to politely remove yourself from the panel tonight, and we'll reconvene next week.
I'm sorry. Sorry,
man.
I thought it would balance out with me not beating Auburn and TJ beating Auburn. So.
Yeah, I was 3-1, but I'm glad I didn't get on the Tennessee show because I was 0-4. I didn't beat Tennessee, so I'm glad I wasn't on the week for Tennessee.
From
I was
data that I
1-4 against
collected,
Tennessee, 1-4 against Auburn.
and from data I collected throughout the week from your time in Alabama, it seems that most of your time during the week of the Iron Bowl was spent at the CC. Care to comment on that?
Citizen Club, gunshot.
Hey,
go ahead and touch on that. I'm going to go back.
Marvin must have told you about that one.
Justin crazy, man.
And
just be glad they don't have everything on social media like they did back in the day.
But they had social media when we was in college, boy, it would have been over with for all of us.
I've been a trash man right now.
Correction again, Matt's back page is still active.
It's Black Planet.
Yeah, TJ, speaking of the Iron Bowl, I mean, what are your thoughts? How you think the game's going to flow? Who is your players of the game? Your score predictions? You know, who are the players of the game? How you think it's going to be?
Man, I'm like Lucius. I think it'll be Jordan's murder ball, but I think they might get 7 points early just because of the rivalry or whatever it is. But I think it'll be like a 49-7 score once we get a chance to take the hot air out their balloon and get them to calm down. Defensively, player of the game, I like Turner. I think, like I said, I think they're gonna have some issues trying to protect him off of the edge because they're gonna try to pass the ball. They're gonna try to throw screens. I think he's gonna get them some issues. Either him or Arnold, because everybody want to stay away from Kool-Aid and not throw at him as much, and they want to keep trying Arnold. One of the two of them are going to have a big game because they're going to make some mistakes. They're going to end up putting the ball in their vicinity or making sure that they get a chance to make a big play. Offensively, I'm going to go with it. I don't want to call him a head case, but I'm going to call him a head case. Mr. Burton, Jermaine Burton.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's time. Like, he showed up in big games.
Yeah.
And like you said, and they offensively feed off of his
motion.
His motion.
Passion, yeah, his passion.
We feed off of that. And like you said, when he's going, it's bad for other teams. You know what I'm saying? Because if we able to get him open on a couple of double moves and to play action deep throws, it's big. And but like you said, those are my 2 or 3 guys I think offensive and defensive, they're gonna be big for us in doing the game. But like I think first quarter, it might be a close game. Then after that, our talent going to start taking over. The coaching going to start taking over. And they're going to realize that they just really can't play with us for 4 quarters. They can play with us for about 8 minutes in the first quarter. But once we start putting that 350-pound offensive line on them, play after play, it's going to be some problems for them.
I agree. Chris, let me get your thoughts about the Iron Bowl down there in Jordan Hare on Saturday.
I think they may get a little trick play or break or break one early, but get caught, and we get a red zone stop. So I'm gonna give them 3 points right there. But I'm going with Jordan's murder ball, Jermaine Burton flying bun, big play bun. But I'm going MVP Jalen Milroe, man, on this trip to New York. This is another step on this trip to New York, man. Milroe is gonna have a huge day, because they're gonna sell out to stop the run. Like TJ said, Burton, those guys, they're gonna eat, man. Those receivers are gonna eat. Nye Black, I expect him and Dupree to make plays to loosen up those safeties. And defensively, man, I'm going with Jahad Campbell, man. This dude is all over the place. And with Auburn style, they run it a lot. That means opportunity for tackles. And I believe Jahad Campbell going to end up with double-digit tackles. And I believe Chris Braswell will end up with a few tackles for losses. So I think those two are going to really eat Saturday.
What's your score? What'd you say the score is going to be?
48-3.
48-3.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, 48-3 because Real Riker needs 10 points to be the all-time leader point scorer for NCAA history by himself, 9 to tie, 10 to take the lead. So he's going to get 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 43, 44.
Don't hurt yourself now.
He's going to need a field goal.
He's going to break. They all count the total. He's going to break the record Saturday down in the Plains. So 48 points to do it. 48-3, Bama.
TJ, what was your score prediction you said?
I said 49-7.
Woo, man, Ty. Let me get your thoughts about this game down there on the Plains in Jordan Hare.
This is going to be a good one. And Auburn, look, going into last week, there was a lot of people thinking Auburn was starting to trend in at least somewhat of a positive direction for them, and then all that gets derailed against New Mexico State. What does Auburn do well? Well, they run the football fairly well this year. They have a running back that's been very effective, and their defense has been better in areas than I think they're given credit for. If we look at total defense, I believe they come in at number 45 in the nation. Now, Alabama has played defenses ranked better. They've played Tennessee, who comes in at 44. They've played Texas A&M, who comes in at number 8. When I look at this, Alabama is just a more complete team. They're playing a better brand of football. And gentlemen, this offense with Tommy Rees the past 4 weeks continues to get better and better. And I just don't think Auburn, they faced some good teams. I don't think they faced an offense like this Alabama one in terms of having a quarterback that is ascending in the passing game and is really getting comfortable running the football. When I look at this game, give me the score 45-10, Alabama. And when I go into players of the game, I'm going to keep it the same. I have kept it all year. In fact, I think I've had the same 2 players pretty much every game. Defense, I know it's been the same. Offense, I've had a little variation. But because we have got a Alabama tight end here, offensive player of the game, Amari Niblack. Gentlemen, this is one of the biggest mismatches, not only in the SEC, but in all of college football. And Alabama's offense is really starting to figure itself out. As I said, really upping the usage of 12 personnel. I think Alabama's tight end room is one of the more underrated rooms in all of college football. People don't quite really know what's there yet, but they're going to find out very soon, especially with Odom coming in. Amari Niblack is a thorn in any defense's side. You can put him out wide, and he can go heads up with a corner and hold his own, but God forbid you put him on a linebacker. That's a bad time. Defense, this is where, no surprise here, I've had the same name every game all season, Caleb Downs. When he committed, I was telling everybody that he was the number 1 player in the nation. You just looked at his film. He was the best player in all of high school football. Gentlemen, I didn't know if I told y'all this last week. I can't remember. But before last week's game, he was the number 3 graded safety in the nation. Not true freshman. He was the 3rd highest graded safety in the nation, right on the heels of number 1 and number 2. There were 3 points separating 1 from 3. This kid is a superstar, and he's only getting better. We saw what he did on special teams. I think he's going to have a big game on Saturday.
Yes.
Unreal. He got big playability. Remind me of like shades of Deuce Palmer and Charles Woodson back there. I was like,
yes.
He hit 20.7 miles per hour.
Did you see the reverse spin he did to set it up? I was like, oh my God.
He is Charles Woodson.
This kid this kid will be legendary. He's Eric Berry, Ed Reed level.
He's incredible.
Yeah, I definitely see Ed Reed for sure.
Ed Reed, Eric Berry, Sean Taylor, Mark. He's that level of safety.
That's a great comparison. Like I played with Ed when he was in Baltimore. He is Ed like just because he's so smart about knowing the game and what to do, but then he has the ball skills to back it up. Like, that's a great comparison to say he Ed Reed. Like, hands down, that's the best thing you said. Chris, I know you in Alabama.
Go 25 years.
Oh, damn the man.
Yes, I'm gonna agree with Chris and TJ. You know, Auburn's gonna get an early fluke score. That's what's gonna happen just because of the Jordan Hare hoodoo. But this is a game that I'm telling you, Alabama fans are gonna enjoy. You know, I expect Bama to dominate completely after giving up a little fluke first score. You know, I'm picking Bama 52-7. Defensive MVP, special team MVP, Caleb Downs. Offensive MVP, now my guy Jermaine Burton, he's our road dog. He's gonna have his game, but my offensive MVP is gonna be Jace McClellan.
Ooh, I
Love
like
it.
it.
Love it.
So I rounded out. Y'all are all in the 40s and the 50s. I'm gonna go like 38-13.
Boo.
I don't know. I think that's a good dominant win. I think
Boo this man. Boo.
You drive a Volvo, don't you?
Hey, man.
Volvo, don't you? Safety,
I do drive a Volvo. That's my work
safety
car.
rating. Yeah.
You probably drink Starbucks in the morning too.
I do.
He also drinks White Claws in the club.
Oh no!
No, Elijah Craig, Woodford, bourbon for me, baby. But no, I'll go 41-13. I'll get in the 40 burger.
There you go.
I definitely
take it up to 65, Matt. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Get in the 50s with me. Come on with the 50s.
I don't like driving over the speed limit,
Yeah, we ain't in Georgia.
In my Buick LeSabre.
They said peer pressure and bullying was bad. I disagree. We just got a very positive result out of peer pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, I say 41-13.
That's better.
I give it right there. I say offensively, I think it's going to be my MVP going to be Milroe. I think it's going to be. I think this is going to set up for going into the SEC championship. It's probably going to set up battle of the kind of who gets invited to New York between Carson Beck and Milroe possibly. And defensive player of the game, golly, it's hard to go against this dude. Caleb Downs, man, that dude is just unreal, man. I haven't seen a big time athlete like that in a while coming in as a freshman, man. That he just showed me so much, if he gets a pick six, a punt return,
I'm streaking.
He needs to be in New York. I'm gonna say it. He easily could be definitely first team All-American for me. I don't know a better safety in the country, but yeah, I'm gonna go Milroe, Caleb Downs, Alabama 41-13. Y'all got me peer pressure,
I'd love to see it.
It's all fun and games. So what else y'all want to talk about? We got plenty of time.
I think it's about that time for us to only for the fans. You know what I mean? I think it's about
for the fans. It is that time, everybody. Only fans, So I'll pop it off. Since it's Thanksgiving week, my OnlyFans this week is
gotta be topical.
Eating those yams. Promo code. Hold on. I got so many promo codes. Eating those yams. Promo codes. Do you like my stuffing? And I got an extra promo code. Dark meat. Because part of the turkey, you can either have the white meat or the dark meat. So that's my promo code for OnlyFans this week.
Dan?
Well, since you're calling my name, Dan has retired from the OnlyFans.
Oh no.
Yeah. You can only reach me now on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Final Whistle Dan, and LinkedIn, Dan James IV. That's it.
I feel so disappointed.
Hey man, HR don't play, man.
It ain't HR, it's mama. I ain't gonna lie. My mama told me no.
Mama is HR.
Mama is HR. Y'all
Mama and my daddy.
TJ. Oh no, Chris. TJ.
I'm gonna tell you.
How can we reach you?
I work in the school system, so I might have to plead the fifth.
How can we reach you?
I like my easy job right now, but I'm gonna have to tell you my OnlyFans off once we start recording.
Oh yeah. The tight
How
end.
can we reach your social media?
Big tight end.
How can we find you?
I know. But no, you can find me on social media at Twitter at tjones8244. That's why my man's on Twitter. Like I said, that's the main thing that I'm on. Like I said, I want to tell you guys, hey, I had fun tonight. I really appreciate it.
We enjoyed having the legend on, man.
I appreciate coming on the show. Justin hit me up and I hit him back and I told him, yes, I get a chance to come on. Like I said, anytime I get a chance to talk Alabama football, I get a chance to go ahead and hide out in the spare bedroom and get a chance to talk trash with y'all. Hey, I love it. So
we'll see you in a week.
How your dad doing, man? How your dad doing, man?
Man, he's doing great, man. He I'm gonna tell you the truth, he just had a birthday on November the 8th. He turned 67.
Tell Coach I said what's up, man.
I will.
Always good to see you, TJ. And also punch Daryl in the stomach when you see him.
Daryl, I'm gonna get Daryl as soon as I get off the phone, get off of this with y'all. But no, man, Papa doing good, man. He enjoyed retirement. He worked harder now than he did when he was coaching Alabama. He's going around picking up my nieces and dropping them off. He's being an Uber driver right now, but he's loving it. And
man, we sure miss him, man. Tell him.
Yeah, we miss TJ, man. The legend.
A lot, man. The legend.
He know. Man, we talk about it all the time. Like people tell him he want to write a book. He said, I don't want to write no book. I'm gonna let my kids tell his story. But I'm gonna try to find a way to get him to put all his stories in a book or put it in something.
Man, bestseller.
Or he comes on here. He comes on here.
Yeah, tell him to come on here.
All right, we're working. Hey, this time when he comes on, I'll make sure that his Wi-Fi works because he came on the Bama standard. We had some technical difficulties when he went on there. I'll make sure that we fix it this time. So when he come on, it'll be better.
Just tell him not to sign in on a CB radio.
hey, I'm for real. He probably did. Like, that's why I said I'm gonna make sure that I take care of him next time when he get a chance to come on. But I give him a chance to take care.
Man, I love me some TJ. Hey, man. Tell him happy Thanksgiving, man. That's my guy.
I will, but for real, like, hey, thank y'all for inviting me, man. I really appreciate it.
Man,
good
appreciate
stuff, man.
You.
Yeah. Ty?
Oh, gentlemen, it's about that time. Always happy to do this. And Terry, I don't blame you one bit, man. You said you got a good, easy job in the school system. I'd argue that my job at OnlyFans is a little bit easier. I just take off a few articles of clothing here and there, shake it, give the people what they want, and it pays the bills. And y'all know all year I like to switch it up. To be quite frank, I have no idea what I'm going to say even right now. This is kind of just being made up as it goes. It's just working. But I knew for Hugh Freeze, it had to be special. It had to be. Gentlemen, Hugh Freeze is a little bit of a revolutionary. He's the first person to host escorts on an official visit at a university. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. All right? I mean, that's top tier stuff. If that, hey, I'll tip my hat to the man. Because of that, and because it's Thanksgiving, I'm in the mood of sharing. So you can catch me this week at OnlyFans, promo code Perky Turkey, stuffing the kitty. Because they are no longer the Tigers after getting their ass whooped by New Mexico State. They are now the Kitties. So once again, catch me on Perky Turkey, stuffing the kitty.
Drop the mic. I love it.
That mascot gonna be a little kitten. That's a new mascot, little kitten.
Every time Bama scores, I just want to hear in the stadium. Meow.
Oh man, Lou. Oh, I know Lou got some good.
Hey, shout out to Efren Davis. IB trivia. How many Iron Bowl trophies are in Bryant-Denny Museum? Does anybody know?
Ooh.
Thank you for that $2 super chat, my brother.
Too many because we lost count.
All right. Shoot. Anybody?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I
haven't been to Bryant Museum since I played. So
they changed it around. You need to go in. It's nice in there. Like,
I'm gonna check it out. It was like a library when we was there.
It was. Hey, I'm gonna say what 30, 32 trophies. I don't know.
I was gonna say
Question before you go,
58.
TJ, you played in the game, being in the stadiums and in Birmingham. Which one which one did you like the best? Just going on the campus or in playing in the Gold Gray Lady?
Oh, campus, most definitely. Like being in Bryant Denny and being in Jordan Hare on campus is way better. Like I understand why they had it in Birmingham just to kind of make it a neutral site game, but it's really not neutral because it's 45 minutes from Tuscaloosa, so that's not really a neutral site game anyway. But I understand. But like playing it on campus, it was way better because, like I said, you get a chance to really have a home crowd. It's really a home game for the home team, and like I said, it was just it's better. I enjoyed it being on campus. Like I said, it's a different atmosphere. I hate playing neutral site games, like unless it's a bowl game, national championship, but having a regular season game at a neutral site, it don't make sense to me. Like I still don't I really hate the Georgia-Florida game. Like, I live in Georgia, but I hate it. I hate that they have it in Jacksonville. Like, play it in Gainesville, play it in Athens. So the students can really appreciate the game. Yeah. Like, you playing in Jacksonville, I understand it's a bigger cocktail party, but have Florida come to Athens and have to play inside of Sanford Stadium.
Yeah.
Like that's a totally different experience. Like, it's a true game, and I don't know, like I said, but for me, playing on the campus sites was 10 times better.
Nice, cool. All right, I just had to get your thoughts on that, Lushan.
You know, there's been a lot of things said about this Cal College to our way too near vicinity, but I'm gonna hit it from a different angle, and no, that's not the name of my OnlyFans this evening. There's going to be animals. There's going to be eagles. There's going to be tigers. There's going to be elephants. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole lot of cows. So I'm going to attribute my OnlyFans this weekend to Rumble in the Jungle, wild style. You can find me at OnlyFans, stuffing their throats and soaring ropes, baby. Let's go.
Up in their throats.
Running it down their throats.
Matt.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Get choked up. And ladies and gentlemen, that's our show.
Hold on, man. I gotta tell how to find me, man.
My bad, Chris.
I'm sorry, man. I'm waiting though. Yeah, y'all can find me on Facebook at Chris K. James Sr., on Twitter or X at Coach Chris James, and on Instagram at CKJ Senior 32. So we appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all for next week's show, which will be highlighting the ACC championship. And tonight's show, tell them, Matt, about Workspace Solutions.
Workspace Solutions. Don't forget, tomorrow you got C-She's show, the Crimson Dynasty. You got Teague's Take tomorrow night as well. So stay here on the Bama Standard, your one-stop shop for the best Alabama football content. We have Alabama legends like Terry Jones, George Teague. I mean, it doesn't get any better like that. Ty Hayes, Dan, Lushan, this is what we do here on the Bama Standard. This has been another great episode of the Final Whistle. So happy Thanksgiving, happy Turkey Day. Enjoy the family, and let's beat them Auburn Tigers. And as always, let's end on those two words.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.